All right, another movie we watched while Kaylee was sick is Nightsiren. This is a Slavic horror film, more of a drama for sure, but definitely got horror stuff going on in it. So yes, this is in Slavic. This is from Slovakia. And this is about a woman whose name is Sarlata.
Mm.
And she has returned home after running away when she was a kid after a tragic event befell her. Get it?
That's clever.
And she is inheriting this property.
Yeah.
And she comes back to do so. And in doing so, she meets Mira. And her and Mira form a friendship. And they are in this very backwards town where everyone believes in witchcraft and thinks that she is linked to it. Not Mira, Sarlata. They think that the girl who showed up for her inheritance
Yeah.
is linked to this witch.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it's really just kind of a movie about like archaic, old school mindsets and what it can do to people who live in a small town with small town minded people,
Yeah.
and how they label people with these like really insane labels. So this one also is about, it's an hour and 45 minutes long. You can get it on VOD. um, I really enjoyed this a lot. I started this, so I watch some movies without Kaylee, things that I think like aren't going to be good, and I don't want to waste her time because we just don't get as much together as we would like for sure. And so I threw this on maybe a few days ago or something, maybe within the last week, and I made it about 45 minutes of the way in, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this off. I actually think Kaylee's going to really like this movie. So I'm going to save this. And then we rewatched all of the rest of it together. Um, I think that this is a really cool film. Now, some people might try to argue that there's not enough horror in here. I disagree. I think there's enough to be a horror film, but it is primarily a drama.
Yeah.
And a very good one at that. I think the acting in here is excellent. I think the setting is very believable. The townspeople, everyone feels like they are part of this small town. The town feels like a character.
Yeah.
And I think that the actresses who play our two mains here are good. I think the twist is a little obvious, so to speak, but I didn't really care. But I just thought the performances were great. I thought that the story was super compelling, and I was just very into the vibe of the movie the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a good time watching it. I definitely enjoyed it. I think that it has a really nice like dark aesthetic feel.
Ambiance.
Yeah, nice ambiance. And I mean, like as you said, there is horror elements for sure, but it is primarily a drama. But I found it to be really compelling, and I think that like it is still scary, even the non-horror elements of just like the town's like mentality and their beliefs and everything, and like the archaic, whatnot stuff that they do. I still found that to be kind of scary, obviously in its own way, but I enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie. There's some really cool visual stuff that happens like in the end of the movie, maybe in the last like 30 minutes or so. There's a really cool forest scene that it was just really cool, very visually like stunning and interesting. And
Yeah.
So
It is visually very cool in the end. I would have liked more of that.
me too. Yeah.
I wish we would have had more, whatever that was, visions or whatever. And it's not just because there's literally like 40 beautiful women naked
There's
in it.
a lot of naked
There's
women.
so many insanely good looking Slavic ladies in the nude running around. So, for any of you perverts out there who would be interested in such things, that's there for you. But it wasn't even just that. I mean, wasn't terrible, but the visuals that's going on there with some kind of like glow in the dark glitter stuff
Yeah.
or something, and then the lighting too, out in
Mm-hmm.
the woods, it was really cool. You got these really dark, deep reds
Mm-hmm.
as you're lighting in the woods and stuff. Like I really loved that stuff,
I did
and
too.
I was very into it. You know, this movie actually kind of reminded me of more of like more people and a modern witch.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe too. Definitely the modern take for sure. But yeah, it has that kind
Or
of.
even the one from the people we just watched the film from,
Oh yeah, Hellbender.
Hellbender.
Like a kind of more populated version of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mixed with like almost like a Midsommar or something
Yeah.
where you have this little small
Really
town who's
interesting.
very much into their beliefs and
Uh-huh.
push them on everybody.
Yeah, it was a really interesting combination, and I just really liked the look of it too. I liked the look of like the two main characters. I don't know, like just everything with the film. I think has an just a nice aesthetic, but also the story is very interesting and compelling, I would say.
Yeah,
So,
and I would also say that this one kind of does the opposite of normal, whereas
yeah,
you start lighthearted and you make your way and descend into madness
yeah,
and darkness, and this one is like
kind of
a
reverses
dredge
it.
throughout and
Yeah.
is really just a tragic film at its core. Our
Yes.
main character has so many demons,
Oh
and
my
I really
gosh.
do love what the ending goes for
Me too.
and how it ends. It ends very opposite of most horror films.
Yeah.
And
But
I actually was very welcomed, and
yes,
I
yeah.
was happy to see it in this film particularly because you just, you want it to end that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I was happy. I was really happy with the ending.
Yeah.
It was very satisfying, and it didn't feel like corny or cheesy or anything. Like it felt earned, but like I don't know. It was good. It was really good.
This is definitely a film no one is talking about. I have
Mm.
not heard a single person, not one person yet, say they've watched this or talk about it in any way, shape, or form.
Mm.
So I am hoping that we can change that, for you, those of you who like slower paced, drama centric,
Mm-hmm.
tragedy tales with some, backwards town who is stuck in the past and is still labeling people as witches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a pretty big fan of this one actually.
Yeah.
I was really into it, and it's got some, as I said, cool visuals. The story is very tragic
Mm-hmm.
in every way. All the characters, the ones we focus on and the ones we talk about,
Mm-hmm.
are all super tragic.
Yes.
So it's a downer of a film,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. I think it all pays off, and I definitely recommend it. And I think it's definitely a hidden gem of
Yes.
2023, and I'm glad that we checked it out.
Me
So
too.
you can rent it on VOD. It's for like about $4. I think it's worth it if you're into slower paced drama horror with more focus on the drama. So other than that, guys, let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.